ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वाम् अनुसन्दधामि। भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनम् देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। My namaskars to you all. Hope you are all keeping safe and healthy. And also you must have taken vaccines you must have taken. If not, give importance and priority to it, because the people who are above 45 years, they are being given preferences. People who are above 60 years, they are also given preferences. So book from this COVID website, from either from mobile or desktop, and get vaccinated. So we are here in a 5th chapter, Sannyasa Yoga, the way of renunciation. In the last class, we were going through these very beautiful verses Bhagavan has said about the person who has attained this perfection on the path of yoga, and still he is engaged in action. So verses like tad buddhaya tadatmana tannishtha tatparayanaha gachanti apunaravrittim jnana nirdhuta kalmashaha. So it tells about the inner mental disposition of such a yogi, and his outward behavior also. So in the next verse it is told, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Shunichaiva Shvapakecha Panditaha Samadarshinaha, that he sees that samatva everywhere. That samatva being that one, that attributeless consciousness, the Atman, that Chaitanya do not have any upadhi which differentiates a Brahmana, Gavi, a Brahman or cow or elephant or dog or an abominable person. So these attributes may differentiate, one being from another. But apart from this the differentiating attributes, upadhis, there is upadhi rahita, something attributeless, that is the consciousness. That consciousness cannot be the mind of Brahmana, the mind of a cow or an elephant or a dog or any other person for that matter. So it will differentiate. It will be bearing difference from one another according to its gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas, according to its sanskaras, according to that's why its tendencies, or therefore its motivations. So your mind will be different, body is different, mind is different, but something which goes beyond both of these, that Atman, that Brahman, that consciousness, that Chaitanya, that there lies this principle of samatva, that is same in every being. Whether it is cat, dog, a great person, a king or a beggar. As Sri Ramakrishna puts it, that Ishvara is present in all beings equally, but the manifestation, external manifestation of its power are not same. He said to Vidyasagar Mahashay in the last Vachanamrut class, our Maharaj was saying this, isn't it? So this episode was going on in Vachanamrut class, that otherwise why else, Sri Ramakrishna says to Vidyasagar, why else I have come to see you, isn't it right? So what differentiates from any other person than Vidyasagar? Vidyasagar is different because the external manifestation of the power of that Brahma and its Shakti, that is different. So samatva lies in Brahman, not in manifestation. This has to be very clearly understood. So this Samadarshi, this yogi, what does it mean? Now this Samadarshitva is not some kind of communist or socialist aspect. This is not communist or socialistic philosophy. This is not trying to equate people. It tells about the yogi that his mind is so firmly rooted, pivoted in the consciousness alone, that apart from the play, in spite of this play of this gunas going on, different manifestation, he is firmly adherent to that substratum, that consciousness over which everything is projected. That is the vastu. That is the only vastu. So it tells about the yogi, how when he is conducting himself or herself, yogi means he may be a man or woman, when he or she is interacting with the world, his or her mind is firmly rooted into that consciousness. Consciousness, not in the sense of a mental faculty of awareness, being aware of some idea. No, it is not that. Consciousness is pure consciousness, which is not a mental faculty. That once it is discovered, the person who was groping in the dark, he found a lamp, it's lit. Will he like to lose it? Certainly not. Isn't it? So then wherever he is going, he is carrying the lamp. Isn't it? So lamp is there. And that lamp is now enlightening everything. He might be able to discover which he might not have seen earlier. Now everything is clear in the light of that lamp, in the light of now that consciousness. He cannot lose the lamp anymore. So this Samadarshitva. Now this 19th verse, that was the 18th verse. Now 19th verse we will see. This is so beautiful verse. Since I heard this verse first time, I do not remember if I might have read this, but it didn't strike me well. But when we were in training center, brahmacharis, and then in one of our class, one of our senior Swamiji, who is one of the vice president now, so he is to take our class, and he quoted that verse. And since that time onward, this verse has struck my heart, something that I cannot imagine. So even every time if you read, if I give a little thought, try to set my mind to it, it gives this maybe very infinite simul, very small, very minute, a sense of ecstasy. That beautiful this 19th verse is. And it's a so great hope. In a way I feel it. So it's a proclamation of the Lord. See what has been said in the verse. So the verse goes like this: Ihaiva tairjitah sargo esham samme sthitam manah nirdosham hi samam brahma tasmad brahmanite sthitaha. So this is the verse. What did Bhagavan say? Ihaiva, here itself. This word Ihaiva is so important and so unique for Hindus. Remember, this Ihaiva, this word, is unique for Hindus. Why so? Because Hindus do not believe in any liberation or emancipation or any kind of moksha after death. We do not seek that. Whatever is being told of Swargoloka, Pitruloka, Brahmaloka, etc., and gradual liberation, that is just but consolation. It is like encouraging the person to try. What we firmly seek, what we firmly believe, that is this Jivan Mukti, free while being in the body, being liberated in the body. That's why this Ihaiva here itself. Not I will do this good karma, then when I will die, then I will go somewhere. We do not believe in any kind of false promises. Who has seen what will happen? And where should I go and see the account? I have done this, whether I have got that or not. With whom I should quarrel? No, you are my Guru, you are telling me I should get my mukti here, not after I die. That is the attitude of the Hindu. That is very beautiful. That you are not supposed to. This is serious spirituality. Diluted one, that you do good karma, good things will happen to you, and you will enjoy the fruits of it. You will get lot of punya, luck will come to you, and it will help you when you die. So you will attain sadgati, at least. To put it most modest way, we will say sadgati. Help poor people or help any good cause. But serious spirituality? No. Nothing after death. Here, we believe in cash, no credit. That is Hindu spirituality. We do not believe in any such kind of stuff. As I said, that is the diluted version to encourage people. Maybe when he grow up to that point, then he will also know. He or she will know that real stuff is this. One day or other, in one life or other, maybe after 1,000 lives, I must come to this and I must attain this. Jivan Mukti. Free while living. So, iha iva. Iha means here. Here means in this body or on this earth. I see result. I do not want any false promises where I cannot come and check whether that promise is fulfilled or not. Iha iva. Eva means indeed, here indeed. And so what does the verse say? Iha iva tair jitaha. Tair means by them. Taihi. This is a sa. Sa tau taihi. Tau Rama Lakshmanabhyam. Tam Rama Lakshmanabhyam. Or Tau Bhratrudvayam. That two brothers, I can say Tau. Taihi. Taihi, this is in this is second case. This is not first case. So Taihi. So most likely that that form will remain same. So Taihi means by them. What by them? Jitaha. Conquered. Attained. Won. Not one, O-N-E. Won, W-O-N. Past tense of win. Win, jitaha. Ihaiva tair jitaha. What did they won? What did they conquer? What did they attain? Is attained by them. Is won over by them. What is won over? That is sargaha. Sarga is refers to the cycle of birth and death. Sarga. Punaravrittim, avrittim, that it came in the earlier verse, 17th verse. So here itself, that sargaha, that mortal existence, which is bound by the prarabdha karma and karma phala. Karma and karma phala. That mortal existence, that is being conquered by them here itself. These are the first three words of this verse. Ihaiva tair jitaha sargo. Sargaha, that is with sandhi, sargo. Ihaiva tair jitaha sargo. By them, this mortal existence, this coming and going, this cycle of birth and death has been conquered. And it is being, means this is what is being talked about these people, this yogi, about whom these dialogues, these words are being spoken by Bhagavan. So by them, this mortal existence is conquered. And here he rejoins with some other ideas here, which are the similar ideas which came in the earlier verses. So by them, this mortal existence is one over, and by whom? Esham samme sthitam manah. By whom? Esham means of whose manah, his mind, sthitam is established, sthitam exists in what? In samya. Samme sthitam manah. Samya here in Saptami Vibhakti, seventh case. So locative case, which shows the location. Samme, in samya, his manah, his mind is firmly established, exists in that samya. What is that samya? That samya is that Brahman. Because that alone is truly of the nature of sama. Because it is one without a second, advitiyam. There is no other factor influencing it, because it alone exists. So there is no differentiation in that one existence, that pure existence. That's why we call it existence, knowledge, bliss, Sat, Chit, Ananda. In that Sat, there is no asamya anywhere. Differentiation means there has to be two. Where one we can differentiate one from another, then it becomes two. If there is at least one difference. When there is no difference at all, then one alone exists. And that's why that alone qualifies, that state, that entity alone truly qualifies for the definition of Samya. Esham Samya Sthitam Manah. Those whose mind is squarely established, those whose minds ever lives in that equanimity. Samya. What word is used here? Evenness. They have conquered this mortal existence, this relative existence, here itself, in this body. And the second line comes, Nirdosham hi samam Brahma, that Brahma is without any fault. Dosham, nirdosham, dosha rahitam. Nirdosham hi samam Brahma, that Brahma is sama. It does not have any dosha. Nirdosham hi samam Brahma, tasmad brahmani te sthitaha. Here he clarifies, or rather put into black and white what we say. It is intended, but somebody should not drag it, try to draw some other kind of meaning. So Bhagavan seals it here. What he is talking about sama, nirdosham hi samam brahma, tasmat brahmani te sthitaha. They are established in Brahman. Somebody should not draw any other meaning of this samya or samatva or samadarshitva. Tasmat brahmani te sthitaha. That person has been successful to dissociate himself from the identification of this body and mind or any other upadhis they carry. And his only identity remains as that consciousness which is present everywhere, which is pervading everything, which has permeated, enveloped everything. Whatever the play of this Maya, of this world, of people, things across space and times, whatever is happening through and through it. This is the context of that verse, Brahmarpanam Brahmahavi Brahmagno Brahmanahutam. One idea, one kind of example Sri Ramakrishna gives, that from wax, paraffin, you melt it, and then from the cast you make different animals: elephant, horse, soldiers, and a king, and the leader of the soldier, the commander, etc. There are also enemies, similar kind of retinue. And from one side, other side, you gave one name to it, another name to other. You have the mock war between them. Somebody loses, somebody wins. That play, everything happened. Afterward, what? That when, as long as that shape exists, there is somebody's king made up of wax. Then something is the horse made up of the same wax. When it is melted again, where does the king go? Where does the king go? Or the enemy soldiers, or the horses, or elephant? Can the wax which belong to the king be separated or differentiated from the wax which belong to other being, or the other king, or from the horses or elephants? No. There is one homogeneous thing. There are no differences. Now, the person who has realized his identity in that pure consciousness, now he is firmly abiding in it, and no more his mind is robbed. No more he is hijacked into this whirlpool of name and form. He is firmly abiding in Satchidananda alone. And name and form, they come and they go. That is the state of mind of this Jivan Mukta Purushaha. Ihaiva tairjitah sargo esham samye sthitam manah nirdosham hi samam brahma tasmat brahmani te sthitaha. So this is the 19th verse. So similar one beautiful verse comes following this 19th verse. And what is it saying? So another verse which I used to quote here in the Gita class from the Gita only. So it has the similar tune to that verse. See this verse number 28. It again tells us about how this yogi, we can see in him his behavior, whether in an elephant or in Brahmana or in a dog. He sees Brahman or not, that we do not know. How do we know? How can we see? What difference we can see? Difference we can see, we can judge when there are stimuli from outside and we can see the reaction of the person. So what is his reactions like? So 20th verse says about it, and it's saying, na pravrushet priyam prapya na udvijayet prapya cha apriyam sthira buddhihi asammudho brahmavid brahmani sthitah. So this is very beautiful verse, very beautiful words. Is telling about the state of that person, of that yogi, behavior of that yogi. So what we can see in that person? So what is being said? Vrushet. Pravrushet means become excessively happy. Pravrushet. That is the meaning of pravrushet. So, like children do get happy. They get some toy which they were thinking and nagging their parents, and all of a sudden, when they were not aware of it, and simply father brings that toy to that child, and that child is jumping with joy, excessively happy. Pravrushet. So no pravrushet, he does not become so ecstatic when priyam prapya, when something he likes, maybe a thing, maybe a person, maybe a time, it can be anything. So a person I love, he comes and I am excessively ecstatic. Na pravrushet priyam prapya. Something I like, some kind of food I like, or so that I get and I become excessively happy. Pravrushet priyam prapya. So this you will not see in such Jivan Mukta Mahapurush. Na pravrushet priyam prapya. So somebody will say that what kind of cold behavior it is. Yes, from worldly point of view, it might be cold. It might not be conforming our social norms, that somebody comes and you must give smile, you must greet, show that you are pleased by his entrance. If he is a very powerful person, he might punish you, or if he is a very powerful yet a bad person, he might create trouble for you. So yogi will not be conforming to your social etiquettes, your manners or expectations. He is not obliged to, because he is jitah sargah. This mortal existence he has overcome. Now he abides by nothing. No rule holds true to him. He is truly muktaha, free of all this. So, na pravrushet priyam prapya, does not lose himself into that rejoicement, in the joy after getting something which he likes. Na pravrushet priyam prapya. And similarly, and na udvijet, does not become disgusted or dejected. What is the word used here? Okay, troubled. So, dejected. This dejection comes, or if they become irritated, vexed. So, when something apriya, na udvijet, prapya cha apriyam. Even if you get something which you do not like, you are not vexed, you are not dejected. That equanimity of mind is not troubled, is not challenged, is not disturbed. And his buddhi, his distinguishing ability is steady, sthira buddhi, and asammudha, this quality, asammudha, that is not mudha buddhi, that buddhi is not clouded by anymore by that tamas which is called as moha. What is that moha? Of this ignorance of that I am body, and this differentiation between attributes, this moha is completely washed off. He no more identifies himself with this name and form. So attributes do not make any difference to him. This samadarshitva, his seeing Brahman in everything, now it's perfectly tested. He might see Brahman in a Brahmana, in a cow, or in a learned person, or a abhorrent person, or a dog, or an elephant. That is all right. But something with which you might be harboring or inculcating any relation as priya or apriya in your earlier life, before you cross this threshold and enter into this realm of immortality, say they do not anymore provocate your mind. What? This your sanskaras of what? Of these likes and dislikes, priya and apriya. You had been maintaining such kind of, or inculcating, harboring such kind of relation to certain kind of things, people, etc. I like this, I do not like this. I like this, something to be done this way, something to be not done this way. You have likes and dislikes, you have preferences. You are pleased something when it is done in your way. You are not so pleased when things go otherwise. You expect someone to behave this way, talk this way, understand this thing. When that happens, you are happy. When it does not happen, you are irritated. Husband with wife, wife with the husband, or with their children, or with the neighbor, relatives, their maids, driver, any other person, bus conductor, doctor, Prime Minister, Modi should do this thing. Modi does not understand. If Modi does, then Modi is nice. I am happy. Otherwise, he is good for nothing. I am very unhappy. Can't you see our life is filled with this kind of stuff? We are completely, until our eyebrows were dipped into it. We live this format, life of this format. And this person is exactly free of this, all of these tweets, minutest trace. And that is what is being put by this idea. Na pravrshet priyam prapya, na udvijet prapya cha apriyam. Sthira buddhir asammudha. That is truly asammudha. Rest everything of us, every one of us is sammudha. We are all mudha. Because we have not got that qualification. What qualification? That freedom from the identity of this body and mind. We are all mudha. He alone is asammudha. Whose yesham samme sthitam manah. And here he says that sthira buddhi asammudha brahmavid. That person is brahmavid. He has known Brahman. Known it first hand. That is brahmavid. He has acquired that identification with Brahman. He has become Brahman. He is the consciousness. Brahmavid, Brahmani sthita. That knower of the Brahman is firmly seated in Brahman. So, this is the secret of its steadiness. Why nothing can shake him or her, that person. Because he is seated, has become one with which is undifferentiated. There is no possibility of any change, unscrutable, avyaya. So, this is one of very beautiful verse. And at least by contemplating this verse, we can analyze our own mind. In that way, it can help us. Whenever I become excessively happy or especially dejected, sometimes I feel like let us not mind happiness if I become happy. But it comes with a toll, it comes with a tax. We might like something which makes us happy, but remember, it will take the tax. So, to escape from happiness is not easy. But at least what is troubling us, what irritates us, what makes us dejected, that disappointed, that gloom comes over our heart, that which makes us unhappy, at least to save ourselves from it. Na udvijet cha prapya cha apriyam. That our idea that either things should have been done in this way, either we are thinking in this format, he or she should have understood this, that is understood, and therefore should have done this and this is expected, and it does not happen. So we are always, and from where we will get this power of detachment. That power of detachment, the power to give up, because once you feel dejected, you tell yourself, suppose, or means worst thing is somebody else tell you that forget it, leave it, you feel all the more irritated. I feel that your mind, your heart is completely hijacked, robbed by that thought. Moha. This is mudhata. You are not body, mind. This is this prapancha, this sarga, this existence. This is mithya. This is maya. This is subject to constant state of flux, constant state of change. You are not this body or mind. Now, this knowledge is clouded. That is called as moha. This is mudhata. That's why your buddhi cannot remain sthira, steady. And that's why, because that knowledge has been separated from you, it is a hindrance is created by that moha. That knowledge is all covered. Now, that's why you cannot now anymore, you do not get the strength, you cannot dissociate, you cannot practice that detachment, anasakti. You cannot. Because you are moha grasta, you are mudha, some mudha. So, that might happen to every one of us, but understanding that this is the situation, this is the chain reaction, this is how the things are placed. If you are practice constant aware of this knowledge, try to get as much as close to this experience, this knowledge, as much as you inculcate, harbor, you do its upasana. This is called as upasana. So, upasana means like you want to become strong, so you do exercise daily. Shakti upasana or bala upasana. You also have to eat nutritious food. You must drink milk or some dry fruits, any other these things which give you power. So, this is part of upasana. You are doing upasana. For devotion, you do upasana. For knowledge, you do upasana. And upasana, when practice, you practice in general way when your mind is calm, and slowly this ability has to be developed, that even if your mind is disturbed, you must be able to do upasana. And slowly, by that way, that person gains the power to dissociate his mind in a troubling state, or think clearly when actually he is in between the trouble, or something is going to overcome his mental state. He is supposed to get or burst into an anger, and his discrimination power, as if officiates, comes into play and holds him back. That do not get angry. Maybe he do not show outside, inside it was there, and slowly, step by step, gradually, that person is getting hold of his mind. Long process, rigorous process. How long it will take? No need to ask, because this is the only way, the way of growth. The way of spiritual development, spiritual maturity, grain by grain and drop by drop, by hard work. After repeatedly failing, repeatedly trying. This is the spiritual advancement. This is what we believe in. We do not believe in any magical deliverance. We are not seeking that. We are not seeking magical deliverance. We are seeking spiritual growth, working on ourselves. Not to lose our heart, not to get disappointed. Accepting wherever we stand, with whatever burden of our sanskaras, whatever may be amount of our mistakes, accepting everything and starting from there. Having courage, having will, having determination, having perseverance, and enduring. That is the heart of a spiritual seeker. That is the one who have taken the now name of Sri Ramakrishna. No compromise, no dilution of the ideal. Vivekananda, Swami Brahmananji, again and again they have used this word. Do not pull down the ideal. Do not lower down the ideal. Do not dilute down the ideal. Let us accept wherever we stand. His help will come, definitely. Sri Ramakrishna, whether he was avatar, whether he was God, every one of us have to realize within every one of us, ourselves. It has to be our personal experience. It is not intellectual inference. It is not why Vivekananda said so, Sarda Devi said so, or his disciples said so. It has to be our own spiritual experience. It has to be our own realization. Whether Sri Ramakrishna was avatar, whether he was God, or whether indeed there is something called avatar. So, only with time, when that growth comes, we will realize that what we lack is sufficient effort. But when we are not doing that, we do not know exactly how much or how is that kind of effort. That's why the realized soul, very frankly and very honestly, they say that yes, I have realized and you can realize too. There is no doubt. I do not have any doubt that you can realize. You have to just sufficiently try. And this, what does this sufficiently means? We have no idea of. We have no clue of. But that's how we, with our efforts, with time and with endurance, we gain the knowledge of it. We have to try. Try harder. And yes, Sri Ramakrishna came as an avatar just for this purpose. He is a very special avatar with a very special mission, and all of its stress, his whole focus is on the spiritual growth of the human being. This higher dimension, the growth in the higher dimension of human beings, of all human beings. So definitely there is no doubt, help is on the way. We have to just start, maybe small, maybe that is all right, with mistakes coming, repeating, but standing again, not by losing heart. That is the nature of the mind. It is prone to mistake, because that has been its sanskaras, it has been repeatedly done, and no blemish of the mind is going to stick to the Chaitanya. That is ever going to be pure, Nitya Shuddha. So do not be cowed down by this exuberance of the mind, and let us seek the path of Shreya, the path of greatness. That is my prayer. May Sri Ramakrishna enlighten our heart and awaken that Kundalini, so that we can see the light, we may find inspiration, and we may find strength to walk further on this path. So with that prayer, we will take a break here and discuss some very beautiful verse, again 21st verse, in the next class. So next class, 23rd, there is Ekadashi. So I remember now. So next Sunday there will not be Gita talk. So 23rd, 30th, we will continue this discussion. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.